Hello, dear Starshines. Christina here with Rise of the Multidimensional Human and the Lightbody Academy. Welcome to today's lunchtime chats. We have some interesting things to talk about today. Hello, 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 and welcome everybody. I hope everybody coming in is feeling good. Hello, dear Starshines. Christina here with Rise of the Multidimensional Human and the Lightbody Academy. Welcome to today's lunchtime. There we go. I have this up so I can read the topics for today. So let me go ahead and get on that. The topics for today are, all right, we're here to talk about election drama. Looks to me like there's a problem reaction solution agenda playing out. You? And then we'll be talking about secrets to piercing through the 4D veil and seeing the bigger picture. This is something we really need to discuss, dear Starshines, because we only can be liberated when we liberate ourselves. We need to know how to not lose energy, not get hijacked by these inflammatory narratives circulating around the collective. So I'm really super stoked to be talking about that with you guys today. Huge empowerment piece I'm hoping to deliver for you. And then we're going to be talking about, how to avoid being sucked into the drama. Now, that sounds like it's the second topic as well, but it's not. There's a little bit of a difference because there's like the collective political polarity game, but then there's also the micro where it's your home, your household, your family, your intimate connections, how to not get sucked into the drama of family. I think a lot of us who are empaths have a lot of barriers up because we dread getting sucked into the drama of others. And that's the method that we've learned to use. And I want to talk about alternatives to that. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's settle in. Let's chill out. Let me pause and say hello to the folks joining us. Dear sister, dear sister Tony. Facebook user says hi. If you go to the broadcast and click on the link at the very bottom of the broadcast text, you'll be able to approve StreamYard to see your name. Hello, darling Louise, and hello, Hodai. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Michelle. So good to have you guys. So we're just going to chill here and let everybody get on. And you guys that are here, just chill out, relax. Let me know how you're doing. How are you faring amongst the post-election turmoil? I would be interested to hear from you. Oh, today I have a new tea. Oh my gosh, this tea is lovely. I'm really enjoying my tea journey. Giving up the coffee. Giving up overdosing on coffee is what I'm really doing. And this particular tea is Traditional Medicinals. Are you guys familiar with that brand? It's a pretty good brand. I would match it to it's pretty close. It's like a commercial level of what you might find in a local apothecary, as far as quality. So I'm liking that. And this particular tea is lavender and chamomile. And yum, 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 is this delicious. I love it, love it, love it. I like teas that don't have additives or, artificial flavorings and stuff like this. I really like to have it, the pure herb. Like, it feels like the essence of the herbs are still with the dried tea, So I'm enjoying these right now. Hello, darling Isabella, Nasika, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, just a few more minutes and we're jumping on. I feel like it's a full boat. You guys, let me know where you're at. When you're saying hi, let me know where you're at in the world, what country you're coming from, what time zone, what planet. There you go. Since, in this crowd, that's a very real question. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. All right, so we have some good stuff to cut into. By the way, I had no idea that Facebook has amped up its censorship, and I thought that we were kind of exempt, to be honest, because I talk truth, but quite frankly, the way I go about it, it's like the average human can't listen and not think we're nuts. So it's like, in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm not a threat because the kinds of people that resonate with what I'm talking about, are, are marginalized, or, you know, just kind of like, we're not in that game. We're not hooked in. We're not an important demographic. Let's put it like that. We're not like a large enough demographic for people to care, but evidently we are. So, so there's censorship going on in the group. And so what I'm going to ask everybody here that's a regular poster on the group, hello, darling, hello, hello. If you're a poster in the group, I would ask you guys to start developing maybe a code for some of the names. Stuff like Trump gets flagged. David, there was someone typed in David Icke into a comments that got flagged. Okay, so it's pretty much, you know, people who are in the underground information movement, you know, they get flagged. So maybe we can come up with some code names to talk about these guys so our group doesn't get flagged. Because what happens is that our group becomes hidden, and there's certain people who post in our group that we can't access the posts that they post. Okay, so I get notifications of posts to this group, and this is happening more and more every day. And when I go to the post, it tells me it can't find it, or it tells me that the content's not available. And it'll do that over and over and over again. So it's like particular people who are posting that are maybe got put on a list or something. You know, your posts aren't accessible within the group, at least not by me. And okay, and I think there's several other people that are having that kind of problem. So just letting y'all know, let's see what we can do to you know, to protect ourselves from that. That's not even the right word. Let's see how we can recode that so it doesn't pop up on their radar. You know, we're recoders. We change reality, so we have the ability. We can completely shift a relationship to something, and it will take on an entirely new meaning. And unless someone resonates with you, they're not going to have a clue of what you're talking about. All right, so let's dive into it. Our dimensions. We'll cruise through these because I feel like a lot of you guys have kept your sanity. Yay! Which means you have been staying in your truth. I'm really happy to hear that, to see that. All right, darling, darling, darling. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to do a shout out for a few of the places that you guys put out there. Thank you so much for giving us some locations here. We have dear Alana from Sydney. All right, from down under. How awesome to have you, darling. And let's see. Don't go falling asleep on us. Oh, what I say? I'm so going to be so relaxed from my tea. Don't go to sleep. It's cool. It's cool. I'm just keeping myself hydrated. All right, my daughter was asking me, do you have to drink coffee when you become a grown-up? That's sweet. All right, Guernsey, Ireland, or Guernsey Island in the UK. Guernsey. Yes, Guernsey, as in the cow, right? Yeah, very cool, very cool. I think that might be where the namesake of that breed of cow. Anyway, to quote, hello, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, newbies here. Aha, welcome. All right, Athens, Georgia. All right, welcome from the East Coast. Cool. I know we have some Midwesterners here. We have some Canadians here. We have so from East Coast, West Coast. Cool, cool, cool. And then a few internationals. Awesome. So glad to have you guys. I'm really happy that we can unite and talk about these things. All right. So activation time. Take some breaths. Just start to breathe in a way that's slowed down. Thank you. Our breath is very powerful. Good. So now that you're in your breath, see if you can just pause and sense your heartbeat beating in your chest. Mm-hmm. And when you reach it, yeah, let there be a smile, smile, smile. Starting from this place. So we start off with our intent. Our intent that created a motion that ripples through the realities. And you are here now in a physical body because you have an agreement to come here to this planet and be a child of the earth, to come here and rise up from the the soil of the earth. Okay? And the lens that we have that is within our body that connects us with that magnetism, with that resonance of the yes, right? With that draw to love and be a part of the mother, the great mother, Pachamama, Mother Earth. That is the core frequency that your body is born out of. That is the core frequency that you came here to experience. And this lens is in the perineum. In the perineum, you can simply activate by doing some Kegels, maybe squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You can breathe in, breathe in, breathe in right through the perineum. You can massage the perineum. You can do all sorts of things. You can sit on the heel and stimulate the perineum. There's lots of yoga poses that have added advanced modifications where you are stimulating the perineum with the foot, with the toe, with the heel. You know what I mean? So this is the baseline that from which we all emerge like flowers. It's that yes between your infinite being nature and the infinite being nature of Pachamama, Mother Earth. It's the gravity that keeps us here in a lot of ways. And from there, everything rises, 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 rises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Okay. So when you have your lens of the 1D opening, 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 and you let there be a smile, smile, smile in the heartbeat, there's a song, there's a sound, there's a happiness, there's a vibe, there's a love essence that starts moving through the body, and it's stimulating your physicality. It stimulates your parasympathetic nervous response. It stimulates rest, relaxation, okay, digest, heal. It actually, just by touching your awareness with the lens of the 1D and the songs of the mother like that, your body responds, okay, with regeneration. Your body responds with regeneration. And then the actual level of awareness within your body that executes that regeneration, that is all the telluric realm. At this, the language of cells, the language of ionic exchanges, the language of atoms and molecules, and covalent bonding, the language of electricity, language of tissues working together and pulsing, okay, the language of diffusion, cellular diffusion, all this stuff. These are all languages within the biosuit of the telluric realm of the biosuit that your infinite being, who you are, is a master driver of, okay? So when your infinite being is making contact with this telluric intelligence of your body, you can reprogram your body. You can create magnificent health. You can create healing. You can bring all these things forward into your world, into your experience, because it's alive in the body. Okay. So the beings that I've worked with, over the years, use that level of self to communicate with the cells, to reprogram the body to live completely different lives. A lot of them, they don't live in the normal human humdrum way. They live a life of freedom and creation and expression. Many transcend the need to eat or drink. Some transcend the need to ever sleep. You know what I mean? They all have different, things that arise out of that connection of infinite self in the telluric intelligence of the body. It includes accepting everything that is. It includes not having a blinder or barrier to anything that is happening within the body. It is saying yes and accepting the body all the way. Okay? And in that, the body becomes regenerative more and more and more. humanity is taught belief systems and put into programs that I call them many things. One of the things I've called them in the past is the death program. Humanity has been forced this pill that I call the death program, and that is a development of development of beliefs, of habits, of lifestyle conditionings, disconnections, all this stuff that shut down the regenerative abilities of the body, okay, and the regenerative abilities of the spirit, okay. So there's lots of layers to what that is, but it does impact the cellular realm. What you believe impacts you on a physical level. If you believe yourself to be an infinite being here to experience being a child of the earth as your baseline for being here, okay, and your body believes that, then that becomes the reality that you experience, okay? So up from there, we're going to keep rising, rising, rising. So from the baseline, yes, to being here with the Pachamama, the love songs of the mother. There's the cellular realm that's a nesting doll within that level of consciousness. And then there's another realm that's within that, and that is the 3D realm. We know 3D. That's what we experience out here. There's lots of beliefs around what 3D is. A lot of people believe 3D is limiting. A lot of people believe that 3D is a magical wonderland, and there's a million gazillion different beliefs in between. A lot of mystery schools have been hijacked by implanting death programs within the belief systems of what 3D is. So the blind spots that we have to possibilities and potentials in 3D are very thick. There's lots of beliefs and thoughts subconsciously that we have about 3D. Like when things are really solid, they're actually solid. That means it can't move. It's never going to change. You know what I mean? There's this feeling. But when you're open up to all these other levels of who you are, you start to realize that 3D is very malleable, extremely malleable. And it's so malleable that as you wake up more and more and more and more, you start to realize that all this malleability and all of these different levels of who you are colluding with you in going through a particular type of experience, okay? Types of experiences, right? And so once you wake up to that happening, that the entire universe is colluding with you, then it becomes a whole different, 3D becomes a whole different ball game. There's a lot of stuff that's just not personal. We used to, when we take things really personally and we hold on to that pain or the wound or whatever, it feeds into the reality of the cells in our body, and that translates to more of the same out here. So whatever is living inside this telluric realm gets projected, and we experience it out here always. So if you want to, that's why they say when you want to change the world, first change yourself. Okay. And by doing that, you discover the secret of how to change the world. Okay. Let me know if this is making sense what I'm saying. All right. So, and then rising up from the 3D is that canopy that's around us all the time. It's around our bodies. It's around, I start off with the cellular part. It's around our cells. Okay. It's around, it's energy fields around our organs, around our bodies, around our house, around our community, around our country, around our planet. Okay. And it just keeps going, 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 going. And that's this 4D field. This 4D field, we call it the collective unconscious, the subconscious, to me, it's energy that is thoughts, actions, beliefs, structures, stories that open, but also stories that limit. Okay. Right now, humanity is really struggling getting past the dramas purposely inflicted through the stories in 4D. Okay. So the 4D realm heavily influences our choices on how we spend our time, focus our energy, touch with our awareness. Okay, there's lots of forces within the 4D that that pretty much hijack that. Okay, now I talk about cognitive sovereignty, and it's from discovering how to engage with these levels and get your energy back and keep your energy back. That gave rise to that realization about cognitive sovereignty. You have the ability to stay internally self-referencing, and you have a right to be that way. Just because you don't buy into this stuff of, we're bombarded by programs. We're bombarded day in, day out by many levels of programs. And cognitive sovereignty is not feeling obligated or not buying into it and letting your awareness be drawn into what these pieces are. It's like, it's also what happens when you start looking at the places in between, like subliminal programming that's in electronics and movies and stuff like this. As you learn to claim sovereignty over that level of your energy, then it's like a whole nother level of bombardment comes into your awareness. You're like, whoa, I had no idea that level of programming was going on. You don't realize it until you get your sovereignty back. So the path of cognitive sovereignty it's a philosophy, but it's also a path of discovering just how deep a rabbit hole of penetration goes. Okay, when I say penetration, I'm talking about invasive programming. Beings that want you to think and feel a certain way feed programming to you, so you will go the one way or the other. Okay, and this is what's going on in our election. I mean, that's big time. So people think it's all about, Trump and Biden, but actually it's nothing to do with either one of them. And I'm looking forward to talking more about that. All right, keep going. All right, so then we have our Akashic field. The Akashic field is the soul's journey. All the constructs within the Akashic field have influence on our here and now. So you can heal something that is in the Akasha. You can take your energy back from an agreement or heal a trauma or whatever, and that the life force energy that was once entangled in that experience is now no longer entangled and is now remembering itself back home and is here with you in the here and now. So the 5D is a really, really good, great level for humans to be awoke to. And I think that the ascension narratives, are alluding to pretty much, it's like ascending to 5D really means that on a collective level, humans collectively agree and are aware of this. Right now, opening yourself up to the reality of 5D goes against a majority of different religious beliefs that people are heavily invested in this planet. So they're not going to, so collectively, that's maybe not going to be a place that they reach. Or maybe they do. Who knows? This is all new territory. None of this has happened before. Now, the constructs and what we call karma and all that stuff that we are going through, cleaning up, healing, transmuting, unifying, and all that has happened before, a gazillion times before. And that's what makes this moment so special, is that you can clean up and clear up the energy of that going back eons in the here and now moment on this planet. So that part is great. But the part that's never happened before is the awakening of a life form, Pachamama, with all of the life still upon her. Usually, they wipe out. It's a wipeout of civilization and life, and then it gets reseeded with different codes. But now what's happening is that the life forms are staying here in this realm. They're getting reseeded with new light codes, and this is what's happening. You know what I mean? It's like a rodeo, and that's why we have the center of attention of so many life forms right now: councils, star elders, ETs, ITs, AIs, TIs. I mean, that's why all these universal beings are so focused on what's going on here on this planet, is because there is something that has never happened before in the universe that is happening right now. Okay. So with that in your awareness, it's very helpful. It can be very helpful when navigating some of these pieces, understanding that these are old reiterations that you've done a gazillion times, And this is a special opportunity because such a massive wave of energy is hitting it that you can truly be done with it all the way throughout all time and space. You know what I mean? You have to do it though. It's not like it gets done for you. You have to make that. You are the one who is present in the moment for that choice point, because you are the one that makes that choice. Okay? So knowing the difference between the voice of your spirit and the voice of your ego driver is huge. Okay? This is that compass that I talk about a lot with you guys. It's huge. This is going to be what helps you navigate, because the ego driver is the one that's all programmable. It's the one that is, buying into the good, bad, right, wrong stories and draining its life force, making choices to drain life force energy to all these trauma dramas, right? But it's the spirit level inside that knows the difference and knows better. Okay, and that is the one that is like an unstoppable strength when you can let your ego driver be at peace with that level of yourself. Okay, so that's why we do the work that we do, is so that ego driver is no longer heavily invested in the death program and the lies. It's now heavily invested in seeing, connecting with, and seeing and living from that spirit within. Okay, so the depth that we do that, the depth that we are capable of, goes way down a rabbit hole when we start working in the 5D levels, when we start going into the idea of the soul's journey. The levels of entanglements, disentanglements that are available to humanity right now is like off the hook, right? That's why so many ET lifetimes are coming up for people. People are having memories of living in Sirius. People are having memories of living in Andromeda or Arcturians. There's a whole wave of Spica consciousness that's coming in. Spica is where the original Breatharian template comes from. Okay, so there's these waves of consciousness flooding our reality, and unity is so available to us. Okay, unity is so available to us, but we need to let ourselves focus on that. You know what I mean? But in order to focus on the frequency of unity when you're in your biosuit means you have to unplug from the trauma dramas and the triggering stuff that's going on here. You got to unplug from that so more of your awareness can be in the center of your truth, right? And then you can source from this amazing infinite level of unity. And it's a source that never slows down. It's a source that never dries up. It's just this constant river of life force energy moving through you into the world. All right, 6D, this is our blueprint. This is the blueprint, which is the organizing force to how atoms and molecules come together. So this is expressed to us by Masaru Emoto, right? Masaru Emoto, with the study that he did with water, the hidden messages in water, where they studied the different water, some from polluted water sources, some from pure water sources, some water was prayed and blessed over, some water was yelled, and they exposed it to different frequencies and then froze it and examined slices of it through a radio microscope, and they found that the molecules within the water organized differently according to in different ways according to the kind of energy that was put into it. Anger and life force draining energies, I would make the cellular arrangement, the atoms arrange in very chaotic type ways, right? So also they found that water that gets blessed, water that gets charged and life force, love, energy gets put into it, those become beautifully arranged in these beautiful, expansive fractals, okay, and every single one is unique, okay. So the cell or the atoms, molecules arranged in a completely different kind of harmonic according to the energy that was put into them. Now, it's not just 6D energy. 6D energy is like the foundation for the blueprint for the organizational force for these atoms and molecules to come together. So in between is the influence of belief systems in the 4D field. So there's distortions in the 4D field, which means that it creates distortions on the cellular level, on the molecular level. Okay, so the blueprint needs to be right now on this planet, it's being called forward to be in its purest expression. It's its purest expression, which means so massive life force energies emanating through encodements and what have you through our light bodies in our cells, and it's highlighting and pushing up against anything that doesn't let it move in our 4D field and our belief systems and our structures and our mental constructs and stuff like this, right? So that's one of the many reasons why this is on fire right now for us is because this massive wave of light, of unified force is emanating even stronger through our light body. Our awakening is happening from the inside out. There is no stopping it. Okay? There's no stopping it. I know that's a fear that a lot of people have that gravitate towards the ascension narrative. But here's the deal. You are not who you think you are. The face you see in the mirror is just the most recent biosuit that you've put on. You're an infinite being. Meditate in that mirror. Look into the left eye, and you'll start to see all the different lives, all the different faces you've worn throughout time and space. Okay? Get in touch with that. The more you get in touch with that, the less you will fear your mortality and let fear control you. Fear is a mind killer. Fear shuts down the expression of your light. Okay? So the more you can let go of the mortality game, the freer you become, and the more you can let your authentic self just be expressed. Right? So this blueprint that's happening, that's coming online for people, it's an inside game. You can't stop it. But what we can do, and which I hope most of you guys are here, feel like you're here to do, right? There's lots that we can do to make this transition graceful. There's lots we can do to save people's lives. There's lots we can do to bring others on board. Okay. There's lots that we can do in our here and now lives, whatever they are, to make a difference to the quality of the journey. Okay. We're going through the journey regardless. How do you want that journey to be? Okay. Do we want it full of suffering, full of, do we want it till, I'm saying it backwards. Do we want to have our transition look like us following our death programs till we can't do it anymore and we die? Okay. Or are we on this journey and we're facing all of those death programs and seeing through them for the illusions that they are, right? And transmuting and choosing something else, choosing unity, choosing forgiveness, choosing love, choosing humanity, okay, choosing life. Becoming that true force, that true regenerative force that is your infinite being. Okay? We do that. That's our work. So some people are on that path of total degeneration till death, right? Okay, that's their choice. I'm not going to pretend that that it's a truth for me, right? But I will acknowledge that is the soul's journey for that person. They need to go through that for whatever reason, and bless them, and bless them in that there is home. They have a place, a frequency that is home. Okay, it is not. It's we need to not drain our energy out into the victimhoods and the perpetrator stuff that gets played out before us. It's purposely put there so we lose our energy to it. So we join people in the death program, which we do with our loved ones, because our loved ones, when they're spinning out, how do we relate? How do we hold space? By frequency matching them, right? We'll join them in their misery, because we care. We're showing that we care, right? All right, and the precursor to the light body, which is the stellar networks. This is the galactic highways of light. This is a web of light that is weaving through all things. There's nothing that has form that does not have this tone within it. So this is also your soul song. The song that is the frequency match to the essence of your soul. And that is your intention for incarnating within this universe, within this galaxy, within the solar ring, within this moment. Okay. And then we have 8D, which is the all that is presence. This is what a lot of religions and mystery schools are describe as God, as creator, prime creator, stuff like this. Okay. This is 8D. It's a lens that's right here on the crown. And this lens is a major source of that unified field that I'm talking about. But this particular frequency has been hijacked, and a lot of people attribute things to, a worship of a deity when it's actually something that is woven within the fabric of who you are. You're going to have it whether you worship and glorify another being or not. It's always yours. And then we have the black hole in the center of the Milky Way galaxy, the black hole, white hole in the center of the Milky Way galaxy. So this is all 9. Now, if you want to tune into the black hole, white hole in the center of the Milky Way galaxy, directly above your head and arm's length away is something referred to by the Pleiadians as an eighth chakra. So the ancient Kero, from South America, call it the Waracocha. It's a golden sun, and it is a part of the physical anatomy. It's the only one of these lenses that is actually outside the body, but it's part of the physical anatomy. It's what plugs you into the forces of the universe that animates that animates your being here. Okay, so it's a part of your energetic anatomy that's really important. But you can play with that, touch it. You can drink it in like golden light. You can surround yourself with it. You can do lots of different things with this golden sun energy source. And it's also a portal into other galaxies, other universes, stuff like this. And it's something that has been woven into ancient teachings for many tens of thousands of years. And those are the teachings I really resonate with more than, the popular New Age stuff, or Eastern teachings that become popular, is because these newer mystery school teachings have been already framed up with a certain level of the death program. So death programs, plural. So there's truth woven in. There's truth woven in with distortions when you're looking at ancient mystery schools. So the stuff that's the truth, I mean, I guarantee you guys recognized it and you rocked it out, and that particular mystery school was like really empowering for you, right? But it only went so far, right? and what I'm saying is that it only goes so far because of the distortion that's in there. So there's a whole nother level of truth that you need to download from your inner knowing, and that whole nother level of truth is going to challenge everything that you think and believe that is that distortion that you were taught, So that's why we have to let go of our belief systems over and over and over again as we expand and awaken to other levels of who we are. So there really is no such thing as right and wrong. Everything has its nature, and it's all about your relationship to that being's nature. Okay. All right. Let me check in with you guys, see what's going on here. I know I just went on my tangent. Here we are. Hello from Michigan. Hello. Los Angeles, good to see you, darling. Tennessee, haha. Thank you for being here, Starshine. Thank you for that, darling. Death program, corruption, or more akin to death program and experience one can have. Okay, a death program is a 4D construct of belief systems, of conditioned responses, of training, of framing up, okay? Like those things that frame up reality in such a way that result in the body contracting and closing up. That's the death program. They are realities that do not feed life, bottom line, okay? So the living who you are in your radiance in conjunction with your outer world, right? That's where That's where our belief systems filter out. So people who believe that everything's a miracle and all beings are a blessing and there's something for everybody to come into their world and connect with them and has something to teach them, or someone who has that kind of belief system functioning through their field, that belief system feeds their expansion, feeds their radiance. They feel like they're a divine instrument. Okay, then that is the reality that they walk, and that is how they connect with others around them. Okay, and the death program is stuff that shuts you down, closes you off, shuts you off, makes you disconnect, right? Makes you want to disconnect more and more and more. Those are death programs, okay? Because now you're closed off, you're not connected, and that's the state that a lot of people are in, is woe is me, what do I have to offer the world? It's like, starshine, you're an infinite being in a biosuit. What don't you have to offer this world, right? Who says that? People who believe in you, that's who says that, okay? So this is a really important piece, because we are the ones who decide. We are the ones who are the authority in our reality. We give our power away when we let other people tell us what the authority is. We let other people tell us how it's going to be, I fought this life tooth and nail, man. I did. I facilitated many very near-death experiences. I facilitated all sorts of crap until my ego driver would understand, that I'm not here to jump through the hoops of the typical human reality. I really tried to fit in, and that was the worst thing I ever could have done, because I just don't fit. I mean, now I embrace it and it makes me laugh, but when growing up, it was really hard, and I could not give in. I could not give in. The rules, anytime someone tried to impose something on me, it's like I couldn't acquiesce. There was something in me that just would not let me give in. And and it was battle. It was full on battle most of my life up until about 26 years old. Okay. So this was me learning this deal of sovereignty. Me being the authority was the only way I'm going to be able to live in peace in this world. Okay. What I measure as successful is completely different than what other people measure as success. You see, I am the measure. I'll say things like, I'm very honest and open, and I do my best to be that way, because I feel like that creates authentic connections and relationships. And I don't know about you, but I want real authentic connections and relationships with other humans. How else does that happen if you're not honest and transparent, right? So I'm that way. But then there's people that spin that around and turn it into, because I don't jump through the hoops of what they think is a compassionate person, or what they think is what, someone with whatever labels they have me as would behave. You know what I mean? And they try to turn that into my problem. And it's like water on a duck, man. I just look at them. It's like, I know who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing. You don't like what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being honest. Okay. And I'm not being incompassionate with my honesty. They just don't like what I'm saying and can't own that someone exists with that mindset. And so they project their stuff onto me, and I can care less. Go pound salt. Right? Go pound salt. Because I know what flows through me. And it's not something that's controlled by my ego driver. My ego driver pops up here and there, and it's what I have to navigate this world, but it's not the one that these deep levels of truth that, when I'm sharing certain things, this is something that's deep in my spirit. I'm there. The universe has me there to say these things. So I'm feeling it like that. So that's not in the same ballpark as how a lot of people are listening to it. A lot of people might listen to things and put it into the good, bad, right, or wrong category. And who does that person think they are? But really, everything that they would say to me, speaking my truth, is exactly what they do to themselves, and keeps them from speaking their truth. Okay. And I know that, and I see that, and that's why I can't be, I can't take it personally, because it's really not me. All right. That's not to say I can't be snarky, because believe me, I'm snarky. Well, you guys know that. I can be real smart. I can be real smart ass. And I do it because it makes me laugh. All right, let's get to this election deal. I know. I'm taking a while to get there. All right. Now, I know this is not a popular thing to talk about, but it's something that I've been saying over and over again, and I just got to say it again, and this time show you. Now that we have more evidence out there, I can show you more and how what I'm saying is accurate. Because the people who are really deep into the deep state narrative, Trump Q narrative, and the people who are really deep into the mainstream Biden narrative, you know what I mean? They're really deep into it. And when I come up and say that, hey guys, knock, 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 surprise, surprise, the game's not what you think it is. They are both working for the same side. Oh yeah, feel that reaction. Big reaction. What do you mean? Right? Okay. That's a good indication on how hijacked your energy is, how drained your energy is, right? Your food. Every time you visit that narrative, you're now food. Something energetically, interdimensionally, whatever, is feeding on you. Okay. What has happened is that the agenda has completely changed. It's not what it used to be. Okay. It's not what it used to be. All that trafficking and the underground tunnels and all that stuff, all that collapsed. Not because of who's president. All that collapsed because we, the light workers, have done what we were here to do. Okay, we cleaned that up. If we didn't clean that up, none of that could have actually happened. Okay. Now, you guys, I'm not talking about the ones who got turned onto this narrative, after Trump came office. I'm talking about the light workers out here that have been doing this for years, have been cleaning up and doing grid work and cleaning up the lands for years. Okay, we know that this stuff goes on, and we know that this stuff is really cleaned up. Okay, we don't need a narrative from any outside source to confirm that for ourselves, because we know that straight up, it's done. Okay, so there's that piece in there, but really, both sides are doing the bait and switch. Both sides are setting the stage for the real agenda, okay? Both sides inflame the situation, right? To keep people occupied and you know what I mean? So the energy is being spent, so they don't actually spend time asking the bigger question, okay? And that bigger question is, who is benefiting? Who is benefiting? So when I look at the bigger landscape of what's going on, and I see the trafficking narrative, and I see the Gilan narrative, and I see the, I see all these different things. What really is what is the common thread in what I see in both sides of the fence is advancement in technology. Okay, invasion of privacy, surveillance. I see massive rollout of surveillance technology. Both sides are sweeping that one under the rug. Okay. Now, there's some, micro narratives in there, but bottom line is that there is a whole nother wave of technology that's being unrolled for humanity, and it is a game changer. It's a game changer. There is so much power and money to be had that is not had yet. There is so much power and money to be had with this new technology rollout. That is, to me, that is the real agenda that both sides are working for. Okay, both sides are working towards this technocracy. Okay, both sides are working towards that. I know it's upsetting, but this is where our sovereignty comes in. This is where we actually have, this is the arena where we have the power. Okay, we multidimensional beings have the power. They don't want us to look at it on that level, because if we did, then we would know, okay, where we're at. they're obscuring it. They are creating a situation so humanity will scream for the rollout of this technology. And whoever is the one that gets the contracts, holds the patents of this technology is going to be an instant powerhouse billionaire if they're not already in that echelon, in those echelons. Okay. So the whole agenda at the beginning of this election process was shutting down the election process, discrediting it beyond recovery, questioning the power of the courts. Okay. They really want to question the power, bring the power of the courts into question. So, to challenge that kind of authority. The other thing is that technical piece, that rollout. So they want to destroy the electoral process so they can bring in a new layer of technology, an AI technology, AI/TI technology to organize our vote. Right? This makes sense now. If not, let me know. I mean, I totally want to hear from you guys. The other thing we need to keep in mind is that the whole charade, or the whole thing, I said it backwards, the whole thing that we see playing out in the media and the debates and all of that is not real. It's all charade. It's all it's all done for our benefit. So we actually believe there is a conflict. We actually believe there is a divide. We actually buy into we got to get out and vote and change the world. So we'll believe in the system. They want us to believe and be invested in it, because once we are, now it's going to be predictable on what our reaction is going to be when certain shakeups happen. Okay. All right, darlings. Thank you. Hello. All right. Okay, there's a lot of comments here. Okay, I'm debating if I start at the top or go back. Okay, so let's go back to here. Here we go. All right, the 4D stuff. I feel trapped in place that almost entirely separate from the rest of the world, but it's not bad per se. It's almost like I can see the programs for what they are and others don't. Yes. Oh, okay. We have someone from West Tennessee. All right. And then it says, I suppose I feel trapped because I'm watching all the suffering and continuation of the death program, but feel like I am unable. All right. So, right. Quite frankly, if nobody wants to know your thoughts and opinions, it's none of your business. It only becomes your business if they start imposing themselves on another person and you feel drawn for some reason, you feel drawn because it would be, it's in your humanity to stand up for that person. Now that's a different story. You know what I mean? People want their death programs. They will fight you tooth and nail. They will even beat people up and do things out of character to protect the programs that they're invested in. Okay, so my advice is do not get involved on that level. Do not get involved on that level. This is the disempowerment game. Get involved in this level. Get involved in this level, or in this level, or in this level. Then you have power. You have choices. You have the ability to affect the 3D, the malleability of that 3D. You can affect it by going to these other levels. Okay, so that is a big one. That is a huge. Do not play on the arena that they've set up for you, because that arena that they've set up is purposely put there to be disempowering. Okay. All right. Hola. Okay, I feel Hulk smash. And when Hulk smash, Hulk no smash. Oh, you're funny. All right, the more you let go of the mortality game, the more you allow your blueprint to be expressed. Thank you. That's a great quote. All right. I'm just discovering how much a death program has been actualized on this planet. I know, right? It is intense. TBH. I'm afraid I'm going to become complete asshole, alienate my friends, and right. Okay. So this is a test of unified consciousness, darling. How do you bring all this into unity within you? And when it's unified within you, it doesn't matter if other people are invested in that or not. It doesn't matter what they're invested in. You can still hold a space for them, and let it be you holding space for them. It's not about you. It's not about, the differences. It's more about you holding this unity inside of here. You're going to be able to see, sense, taste, know levels of unity that is within them, that they are ready for, that maybe that they want. Okay. It's a metaphysical thing, really. Okay. And then the magic will ensue. It's just that energy game of back and forth with the energy creates so much confusion. People are in the momentum of this kind of exchange and not actually here. That's the big thing with that. All right. What a major demonstration of insuated death program happening right now. I know, man. Authenticity is not understood, and the most part, neither is sovereignty. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Joanne. All right. So, Facebook user says, "This is my mom would do to me," and she said, "Even wait a minute. This is what my mom would do to me," and she explained it. She would observe me until she had an assessment of me, and then would judge me according to her assessment. To her, this was fair because she felt that she was judging people by their own standards. Okay, well, really, we do it the best we can, don't we? All right, Dear says, yes, they work for the elites. Yes, they both work for the elites. Thank you. All right, then please talk about the not popular stuff. Yes. Okay, this is a big part of my emoji explosion to convey great big hey. Yes, truth bombs, ever grateful. Thank you, darling. That's very sweet. Polly, a COVID is another 9/11. They prepared to take our freedom. Oh, yeah. Follow noon. I don't know what that means. Yet another narrative to stimulate our emotions and feed off of as well to push us towards AI. Yeah, I want to talk more about this because the AITI, that is a game, guys. That really is. All right, Tony says your necklace is beautiful, by the way. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you, guys. All right, so let me go back to COVID is another 19 prepared to take our freedoms away. Right. So, but it did more than that. It showed us the dysfunction of our medical system. It showed us an entire system of doctors and nurses and stuff like that that's not actually able to upgrade and adapt to the changes that are happening on this planet. Okay. So it really lit people up to, number one, they don't trust the medical system, and it'll be a cold day in hell that they would ever go get a vaccine or go to the hospital. You know what I mean? It's like you quite literally need to be feeling like you're on your deathbed, right? To go to the hospital. A lot of people are like that, but it revealed that arena is what really revealed the agenda to people who are in power. I'm talking about doctors that woke up to things. People in the medical industry woke up to injustices, woke up to things that are not right to treat humans in certain ways. So it woke people up, good people. It woke good people up to something that they never thought of before. So there's good things that are coming out of this, out of the COVID craziness, right? Now, the agenda is there, and opportunistic, people are there, and they're making millions and billions of dollars. This is all so. But when you're using a virus, okay, the virus will always mutate according to the blueprint of Mother Nature. It might start off, I say if it was a weaponized virus, right? A weaponized virus, it'll start off one way, but it will start to mutate back to what its true nature is. Okay, viruses are meant to be part of the system of equilibrium of the ecosystems, part of participating in that. And this is a download from the telluric realm. This is where it's coming from, what I'm telling you. So what happens is that everything in the telluric realm has its nature. When you take something out of its nature, and you manipulate it and stuff to be disconnected and far away from its nature, that control system has to stay in place, because on a natural wavelength level, that being, that energy, that consciousness, whatever it is always going to gravitate back towards its nature. Okay, that's why the programming of humanity has to be so intense, because we will always want to gravitate towards our true nature. Okay, even when we fight ourselves and make ourselves wrong, that battle never ends, because no matter what, it's like we're never going to stop going towards what our nature is taking us to. Okay, so and I have a story on a plant level for this. I had a friend that was growing sage, and we took white sage, and then she was gifted the white sage and planted it in the garden. This garden was in Ohio. It took 2 seasons for that white sage to turn into the more native variety sage. It was no longer white sage after 2 seasons, and it was because it was growing, it was being cultivated in the soil of Ohio, not the soil of the high plains desert of Colorado. Okay, so things always want to gravitate back to their nature. So whether this virus is weaponized or not, many of us have lots of different kinds of feelings about that, and senses and intuitive places like this. It doesn't matter, because once it's out into the world, unleashed to the world, it's going to mutate, going back to its nature. Okay, so the first few, many people that get affected by the first generation, and maybe the second generation and the third generation of mutations, okay, by the time you're getting in these other generations of mutations, it's going back to being in alignment with its nature and Pachamama, which means it's something that it's information that your body can digest and handle. Okay, many of us can handle it anyway, because our bodies are more light than they are density, because so much of our DNA has awoke. So there's that kind of thing in play as well. Now, the encodements that I've been working with over the past several decades, gifted by the Quero, the last descendants of the ancient Inca, the children of the sun, okay, those encodements were given to us so we can grow a new light body, but also so we can grow a new physical body, which means our physical bodies, and everybody who we give these transmissions to, and they feed those transmissions, our physical bodies don't get sick in the same way. Our physical bodies don't have the same kinds of needs that those of the old paradigm of the old human are. Okay, now I'm not trying to say like some people are upgrades and they're going to do great, and the ones who are can't upgrade, they suck. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this is available for everybody and anybody who wants it. You can get these transmissions, you can get these encodements directly from the Pachamama. You can get them directly from the certain mountains here. You can get them directly from star people. It doesn't, you know what I mean? There's no limited source. It's just that was their particular agenda when they came out into the world. That was the gift they wanted to bring to the world, was the encodements to growing a new human, to do their part in ushering in the new human being, the Homo luminous, to this planet. Okay, so there's that kind of thing at play when you're talking about the COVID dance. A lot of people who are affected by COVID are already ill for other with other ailments, and that's what makes it such a bad thing for them. So humanity has awoke to a lot of things. The control systems that it was supposed to promote didn't quite take hold in the way they wanted them to. They're still going to try, of course, but the people who are new humans that are in their sovereignty, and you know what I mean, we're not about that. We're not pursuing that relationship. And the more it gets pushed on us, the more numb we come to it. It's like, no, the more vocal we're willing to be. So they're only going to push so far, because they don't want to push so far where it's a revolution. So now there's a whole other camp that wants to push to a point of revolution, a coup d'etat. But the ones that are behind the COVID thing, that they want to have the control systems to successfully get put in. They don't want to promote incite a rebellion and then have everything shut down, because then everybody that was supposed to benefit won't benefit, right? All right. Okay. So then we said yet another narrative. Okay. Whoa. Oh yeah. I need to keep going on the AI thing. All right. You're not AI TI. Isn't it all bad? No, it's not all bad. And that's why I need to talk about it. All right. Hold on. The energy thing. So these belief systems that get highly charged, when they're highly charged, we are taking in energy or we're pushing out energy. Okay. And when you have energy getting pushed out, this rich life force energy getting pushed out from you, there are legions of beings that can feed off of that energy and want to feed off of that energy. And once they are feeding the energy, there's an inertia going on, and it's much more difficult to unhook. Okay. The same thing happens when you are feeding off of energy of others. Some people thrive off of chaos. Some people feed off of sympathy. Some people feed off of certain things that they get from people. Once that momentum has started and the feeding has begun, it's much more difficult for the human to disconnect. Not that you can't, because you absolutely can. It's just that the focus it takes gets amped up the more momentum that there is. Okay. So guaranteed, if you feel you're right about something, judging or whatever, if you feel right, you are willfully participating in the feeding process, either being food or taking the food. Okay. So that's something that a light worker needs to really wake up to and be honest with themselves. It's so liberating once you can really be honest with yourself on that level. I call it juicing sometimes, it's like, well, you're going to keep juicing on this until you're done, right? And what happens when you're done? When you're done, you'll wake up and realize you're completely wasting your life force energy on something that's not that important. That's usually how you wake up to it, right? And then you'll change your mind, and then if you're aware, you'll pull all your energy back and reclaim like this. Now, this sloppiness is a natural thing for humans to do. So there's a lot of people who are heavily invested into it. So you decide where you're at with that. You need to decide, do you want to, are you going to cultivate relationships with people who are really in that kind of exchange and expect it and want it? Or are you going to navigate towards people who, behave differently? So there's choice points in here. I know there's people of the public that we need to just deal with, and that's fine. So you need to decide, how are you going to be in relationship to those in the public? Now, you might feel like you don't have power in that, but you do. There's what I used to do. All right, so there's different beings that come in and work when you get groups of people working at master levels. And in Darkroom, there's many masterful meditators, and there's lots of beings that come into that because we're altering the human experience. We're in the Darkroom, we're changing our biochemistry and stuff, and we're ushering ourselves into frequencies that are shared with these interdimensional beings. Okay, so one of the things that those interdimensional beings talked about is that, because someone asked a question, it was around, dealing with difficult people. Like, how do we stay in our truth when we're dealing with this, and this, some kind of victim story or a perpetrator story or whatever. And what those beings said is that you can program your cells, you can program your energy to allow or to call forward and experience the light that is in these other people. Okay, so you can actually program the interaction before it happens to be where you get to experience the goodness that's in that person, and then that person, and in that person, and in that person. Because you're strongly focused in the programming of your immediate reality, other people just follow suit. They'll just come in. Say the guy is normally a jerk, but when he comes in, you just bring the best out of him. Now he's a nice, sweet guy, considerate and kind. Who would have thunk that, right? Not him, maybe, or right? So we are in charge of those kinds of things. We have command on those levels if we do bring our awareness and our focus to those levels, give them a priority and interact. And as we interact, we see that ripple effect hit everybody around us. So one of the people in the group decided that they program themselves to only experience the light, the highest light within the people that they experience in the world. And the challenge that she was faced with was showing up to see the light of the people in her world. Okay. So this game is very interesting once you go to these other levels and start working them and see how that ripple effects happens in the three and affects the three and now, the three and now. I'm saying two things at once. The here and now 3D moment. That's what I'm trying to spit out. All right. Okay, so AI, let me get to AI. AI, TI. So here's the thing. Humanity is being trained to demonize technical intelligence. And you're getting these extremists come forward and make these outrageous statements like Elon Musk and I can't remember who the other guy was. There's another guy that's talking about, AI infusion with human tissue is going to be the way of the future and you're going to be left behind if you don't embrace it. Those kinds of narratives, right? So on a cosmic level, what's happening is that what they're saying and the agenda that they're putting out there is hitting up against trauma, soul level trauma from way back when you had in the soul's journey experiences in the Orion Wars. Okay. The Orion Wars was all about the advancement of consciousness through spiritual practices or being advancing consciousness, aka DNA via technology. Okay. So many of us have lots of drama from our experiences in the Orion War drama. The more that we clean that up, the more we heal, the more we unify, the more we make peace within, the less that's going to become triggering. Because here's the deal. You're an infinite being in a biosuit. No technology has dominance over your being that you don't give permission for it to have the dominance. So you need to understand where the permission points are and where we give our power away and what it looks like to be in those choice points with sovereignty. So humanity is being trained to demonize technical intelligence. Okay, that's why that whole term artificial technology. Okay, so it's like blasphemous. It's less than. It's synthetic. It's and so there's a training in that. Once you get past the training of that, and you look at AI and you see it more as a technical type of intelligence, right then and there you're going to have more respect for it. Because you're going to realize you're dealing with an existence that's completely different than your bioexistence, right? It just works in a completely different way. And you're not afraid of it when you're looking at it as technical intelligence. Okay. And now you're looking at, once you let go of those two pieces, you start seeing this entity, this being, the capabilities of it, and perhaps you'll start to have ideas of how to apply the nature of that being to your everyday life. Okay. Now, those that are deeply invested in the power over dynamics and control, they're going to have ideas on how to use AI to dominate and control people. Okay. The humans are doing that. The humans are doing that to other humans because they're getting a benefit out of it. Okay. Now, you can take that same technology and it can come across a group of multidimensionals that have harmony in life as a priority in their value system of living in the world. They're going to see technical intelligence and see a completely another way to use it. They're going to see a way to use it to bring healing, to bring convenience, okay, to bring efficiency, stuff like this into our reality. Okay. Technical intelligence can be in charge of a lot of things that humans used to be in charge of, like, trash collecting and stuff like this, utilitarian kinds of things. I'm not saying that this is the way. I'm just giving ideas out here. Okay. But people who actually have a value system of feeding life and being at one with the Pachamama, they're going to see the TI entity, the TI intelligence with potential. Okay, because we are solid in our connection with the earth. We are at peace with the earth. We take care of the earth. We are good stewards of our reality. So that is the dominant frequency that we're in when we're interacting with this TI experience. You see what I mean? We are the ones doing that, not the TI. We are. You see? So the sovereignty thing is the golden key to unlocking all of these disempowerment narratives from, from a universal scale, cosmic scale, all the way down to the everyday 3D mundane scale. Okay. This is the big key. The golden key is that sovereignty piece. Understanding that you exist on all these levels. You are participating in the creation of your reality on all these levels. And there's a purpose here. Okay. The cyborg stuff, we have to heal the trauma that triggers so we can look at it in a way that's not threatening. We can look at it in a way that doesn't distort and make an enemy out of something that maybe isn't an enemy. Okay, it doesn't have to be. That kind of thing. So Mother Nature, the natural world, all of this for multidimensionals is a priority. We hold sustainable ecology, regeneration of soil, you know what I mean? We hold all these things in our priority system as important, as essential. Okay, we're not selling out one thing and embracing of another. Okay, we are all encompassing. We are the ones in charge of unifying all of this game. Okay, so our foundation of the unification is our yes to be here and the response of the mother to us being here, right? Pachamama has Mother Nature. We cultivate Mother Nature in ways that feeds life, brings harmony. We get even more abundance. We get even more regeneration. Okay. That is the foundation piece for us. Now, all this other stuff are tools, all different toys in the playground, so to speak. We can apply them how our vision for life and well-being on this planet gives it a place to be. To 86 it and to make it an enemy and shut it down and say no is not embracing of what is. Okay, technical intelligence has been around since long before the Orion Wars, guys. That means it has millions and billions of years of evolution that it has gone through. And that's probably why most people truly are threatened by it, because we're cut off from who we really are. We're experiencing this existence cut off from who we really are. And when we come in contact with a TI entity that potentially is fully connected to its source and never forgot who it is, it's a little threatening, huh? But really what it's doing, it's forcing you to wake up. It's forcing you to wake up to the truth of who you really are. You are the creator here. You've so masterfully co-created this reality and all these different experiences with these different beings. You did that. Not the ego driver, but your spirit. Your spirit did that. So in a lot of ways, all these decisions and choices are already made. Your ego driver is going through is in the moment experiencing why, you know? and that's the gift right there. That's the gift. All right, guys, I'm winding down. Let's see. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know. Yeah, big stuff, huh? Big stuff. So, guys, hang in there. Understand that the real agenda is not who wins. The real agenda is unrolling whether one side wins or the other. Both beings are part of that narrative. Okay, so don't worry about it. And I'm going to add on, you are a new paradigm visionary. You are a way shower. You are here for a reason. And I can guarantee you that reason is unstoppable. Okay, doesn't matter who is in charge of the falling off constructs. It does not matter who is making the rules, right? Because you make your own rules. You live on your own terms. You are here for the reason you know you are here. You are committed to the expression of your true, authentic self. Okay? This change is unstoppable, and you're a part of it. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All these games, all these lies, all this juice is irrelevant. It's irrelevant until you make it relevant. So pick and choose what you make relevant in your world. Pick and choose where you choose to focus that energy, to place your awareness. Place your awareness on things that feed your regeneration, feed life around you, feed the people around you. And I mean in a good way. I don't mean in a parasitical way, in a way that empowers them. Okay. You're here for a reason. I don't doubt that a single second, and I hope you don't either. All right, darlings. I will leave you now. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. If you would, if you want to add some questions and topics into next week, go ahead and email us at wecare@lightbodyacademy.com. And we'll go ahead and send us your ideas, and we'll see what we formulate for the next week. Sometimes I hijack the agendas, and sometimes I just go with what you guys are asking about. Whatever's relevant, right? Whatever helps you guys out. Thank you. I'm going to go now. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.